Good afternoon. I'm finally up after getting a little bit of sleep. Well, I ain't gonna say a little bit, I'll say some hours. I sleep maybe about 4 or 5 hours of sleep. I start work in a few hours, about an hour and a half. So the hubby woke me up and said, make some cookies while I'm gone to get the kids. So time to get up and get something started before 3:45. Today is my Friday, as I mentioned earlier, and I'm glad. I won't get off till 2 a.m. tomorrow, but I'm glad today is my Friday. So let's get up. Alright, so, yep, I'm up now. So first things first, I'm about to wash my face. Did you know that you could use baking soda and a little bit of water to exfoliate your face? I didn't know you could do that. So that's what I'm about to do. See, this is some water and some baking soda. And what I do is I just switch it around with clean hands. I already washed my hands. Because this is what I do. And I just go and I just start rubbing it in. Just like this. Yep. So this morning I was up until, this morning when I got off of work, I couldn't go straight to sleep. Like I was sleepy, but I couldn't go to sleep. I had some pretty strange calls in from customers and stuff that were unusual situations. So what I do is, I'm the person that you call when you need to make a claim for an accident or you got some damage to your home or something. And I work overnights. So Sunday, which was yesterday, was pretty wild because I don't know, it just seemed like all my calls were off. Like it was just unusual situations. Usually I get stuff like, 2 vehicle accidents and stuff like that. Two vehicle accidents, single vehicle accidents. Normally no injuries involved. Just minor stuff or some, vandalism, weather damage, things like that. So I got maybe from the jump when I came into the office or when I logged on, because I don't go to the office, I'm remote. So from the jump, I noticed that one of the claims that I filed, one of the reports that I made for a customer for the night before didn't go through. And my gut told me, to hold on to that claim before I even logged off from work for that night anyway, or for that day anyway, to hold on to that claim because it was unusual. This customer was away from home, like 100 plus miles away from home. Their car was severely damaged by a deer, and they're about to be stranded. And I was going to get them a tow. I'm going to wash this off now. So I was going to get them a tow, and there was just too many moving pieces, and some some stuff was going to be paid for through the customer's plan, and then some of it was going to be, require them to be paid back for some of their expenses because they had to pay out of pocket for their hotel stay and stuff like that. So I had to, make sure I put my notes in there to detail what it was that we talked about, and I had to make sure that that the notes were in there, that they were supposed to be reimbursed for certain things. I did not grab a towel. Oh well. But yeah. So when I came back into the office yesterday for the claim I had filed the night before, their report never made it through because of a system update. So because of that, I had to go in and redo it. That took me about maybe, I want to say maybe 40 minutes altogether, because I wanted to make detailed notes, and then plus, like I said, I had to resubmit all the information. Fortunately, I didn't, exit out of everything, because that customer come today, which is Monday, 2 days later, they would have found out that none of their reservations were made. They'll try to submit a receipt for their report online, and the report wouldn't have been there. So yeah. So last night, I was just getting ridiculous calls. Primarily my maybe my last call was kind of crazy because that report involved a pedestrian, and I could just hear the hurt or the concern in the customer's voice, right? Because nobody wants to cause harm to somebody else, and if you do, what's wrong with? No, I ain't gonna say that. But yeah. So that call took a bit longer than usual because whereas it wasn't too much that I could really do other than report the information. The customer needed that extra. The customer needed the extra. I don't know. It's like they needed comforting, or a listening ear, I should say. They needed a listening ear to vent out how they were feeling and things like that. Because, like I said, their claim involved a pedestrian that was injured. So, and yeah, that could be tough for anybody. So that one was crazy for me. Was a crazy one to take in. What else? The one before that, or two before that, it was also crazy because this other customer, he's, traveling down an unfamiliar road and ends up falling asleep at the wheel and ended up in a ditch, right? Fortunately, this customer was okay, but their vehicle wasn't. Their vehicle needed a tow, and it was kind of difficult to find them. But fortunately, a passerby, stopped and helped them with trying to identify their location and everything, to where I could, get them some help. I could send out a tow to pick them up, and I'm sorry for anybody that has to call into emergency road service for a tow, because not all emergency road service companies are made the same. I hear AAA is pretty good, but I ain't gonna mention which ones my company work with. But yeah, just know that not all emergency road service companies are the same, or at least not the contractors that they dispatch out for those tows. They're not all created the same. So, I missed the spot. So with this one, the customer told me that he needed to ride with the service provider that was coming out to pick up his vehicle. So I was like, okay, that's a good idea because, you know, it's what, 12 o'clock at night for him, and nothing's open. No shops are open or anything that the vehicle can be towed to even look at it. So I was like, okay, if you're close to home, I'll get your vehicle home for you, and I'll put it in a request to make sure that the service provider has enough room in their tow cab so that you can ride with them. So the first request that I put in, it went to somebody who accepted the job, but they said that they wouldn't allow the customer to ride with them. So I had to call and cancel that request and strictly ask specifically, do not accept the job unless you have the capacity to allow a customer to ride, because the customer needs to ride. They need to be present to be able to give the service provider access to the property anyway, to even be able to drop off the vehicle, right? So sometime later, maybe like 15 minutes later, the job gets accepted, right? And they show up, they call the customer like ain't nothing wrong. But when they show up with 2 people in their cab. And they tell the customer that that he can't ride with them because there's not enough space. When specifically in the notes it said, do not accept the job unless you have the capacity to let a customer ride with you. So they intentionally did that. So the customer's out there pleading with them, come on man, let me get in the car with you, let me ride with you, I need to be with my vehicle. You can't even drop off the vehicle anyway without me being there because I need to give you access, you know, that kind of thing. But they was like, no, let us hitch up the vehicle, and we'll get you an Uber, you know. So they're hitching up the vehicle, the customer's pleading with them, the customer is also injured. Now, because of the way that it sounded on my end, it sounded like, you know, they was about to do something to him. So I'm like, sir, I can't even verify that this is the service provider that we sent out. What company is it what's the name on the tow truck? So I can verify if this company is the one that we've dispatched out to you, you know, because some shady stuff be happening in certain areas where people will say that they with a certain company and they're really not. They're actually thieves, you know, stealing people's vehicles and stuff like that. So I couldn't verify that the service provider that they called out was the one that we even sent. So I was like, sir, I feel like, you know, like this is your vehicle is being stolen. I think you should call 911, you know, instead of you know, trying to negotiate with these people. But he was like, no, I don't want to do that. And he just pleading with them. It almost sounded like he was begging for his life to me. But yeah. So what ended up happening was they left him stranded on the road. They took his vehicle. Instead of dropping it off at his house, which they couldn't do because he wasn't there to give them access, they ended up calling back, or we ended up calling them, and them calling us, saying that they can't drop the vehicle off at home because they're not granted permission, so they're going to tow it to their yard. So there's sketchy things like that too. So the place ended up being a place that was dispatched by us, but you can be rest assured there's a complaint going against that particular company because their handling of the customer was not, no, it didn't go well at all. And I'm even sorry that he had to go through that. So needless to say, I don't know what happened with that situation, because while I was trying to resolve it, the customer that I was talking with, unfortunately, his call had dropped or his phone battery had died or something like that, to where I couldn't get back in touch with him when I called. So I hope it all went well. I'm going to check back in on it today when I log on and see what happened. But yeah, let me brush my teeth. So yep, I be getting I don't get crazy calls all the time, but that one. But I do get them occasionally. I'm about to brush my teeth. Y'all, have this swelling in my mouth. Captain Crunch, right? Nope, it ain't Captain Crunch. It's Berry Colossal Multi-Meal cereal, right? My gut told me, do not buy this cereal. I went and bought the cereal anyway. I bought a big old bag of it, and I was just smashing it, right? For the last, I don't know how many days. Now that, after however many days, however many bowls, I pretty much ate the bag by myself. It was a 37.5 ounce bag or something like that. And now I got some type of swelling in my gum from eating it. In my gums. You know, they're like Captain Crunch. They're the knockoff brand of Captain Crunch. And they'll scratch up your mouth and everything. But I was like, I'll put enough milk in there and it'll be good, you know. But no, I got swelling in my mouth. Brush my teeth. And what's a good pain reliever is the brown Listerine. And it works pretty good. It takes the pain right away. So the blue, like the colored Listerines, those don't work for some reason as far as, you know, helping with the pain. But that brown Listerine, that's where it's at. So yeah, I'm gonna brush my teeth and I'm gonna come back a bit after I'm done. Alright, so that is that. That swelling in my gum makes it hard to brush my teeth on that side. It's on this side. If it don't go away this week, I'm probably gonna have to make a dentist appointment. Because I can't eat like that. So, we are done. Oh, also, if you wash your face with that baking soda, if you ever use that, make sure you put on a facial moisturizer afterwards, because that stuff is pretty drying. Go grab a towel. Yeah. So another thing is that I want to say is, all right, I have a daughter who is into music, right? What kid ain't into music? Who ain't into music, first of all? Who ain't? But, anyway, she be introducing us, me and my husband, into different songs and stuff like that. Right? Some cool, some questionable. Well, I want to talk about the questionable songs, right? So, kids, you hear, with music, you can hear a good beat. And because you hear a good beat and the words, you know, you can kind of disregard the words a bit. And I just want to share for my parents out there, pay attention to the music that your kids are listening to, the things that they're watching. I have to work on that myself, because this music, I feel like, goes into the subconscious, because you can hear a song over and over, and before you know it, that song ain't even playing and it's coming to your mind and you singing it out loud, right? So there's this song that my daughter showed me on a video that she made. It was a little clip after her graduation. And I was like, it's called Bang by a band called AJRS or something like that. But anyway, to me, that song sounds like, you know, the chorus, it sounds fun. You know, it sounds like it's a good time. It says, let's go out with a bang. Come on, everybody. Come hang, you know, something like that. So I'm listening to it. That song playing over and over in my mind because the video that she made was a little clip of about like maybe 30 seconds or something like that. And it just plays over and over. You know how reels do, or shorts do. They just play over and over. So that was stuck in my head. So this morning when I got off of work and I was trying to go to sleep, that song was playing in my head. So I was like, well, let me re-look at the video and to find out who it was that sang that song. So that's how I found out about it. And I was like, okay, so I'm going to go online and look at the full song. So I went on to YouTube. I saw the video. The video was pretty sketchy to me as far as like lining up with what we believe. And, you know, it just looked weird. It just looked kind of questionable as far as like the undertones of the video just looked questionable to me. And the words were questionable as well. So when I looked up the lyrics, the only thing that sounded positive about the song was the actual beat. The words were pretty much talking about, you know, growing up and then having things to, I guess, being in adulthood or whatever, and having taxes and pretending to be a certain way, or to pretending to be a certain, to feel a certain way or whatever, and it actually not being true. So that person is, to me, sound like, because my life is so bad, or I can't adjust well, let's commit suicide kind of thing. And I don't want my child singing that song. You know, I don't want her rehearsing that in her mind, her subconscious, that undertone. No, I ain't feeling that. So I was like, hold on, let me talk to her about it. First of all, me and my husband, we try to tell our children to, you know, not just groove to a song because it sounds good, but try and dig deeper. Go look at the words and see what they're saying, and see if what they're saying actually is a good thing, because you could be bopping to something, right? And, you know, you're basically having a good time to something so awful, you know, and it's like, you know, you don't want to become that. You don't want to invite that into your life somehow, you know. So just be careful with what you let your kids listen to. Monitor everything. My kids don't like it. They feel like we just being, you know, controlling, I guess, for lack of a better term. But yeah, we gotta be controlling until they old enough to understand and make the right, make good, make, I can't say make right decisions, because some days they'll make right decisions and some days they won't. Even as an adult, I don't make the right decisions all the time. So, I don't know, just give them a fighting chance to make some type of good judgment. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and change. Thank y'all so much for watching. If you have tuned into this video this long, thank you for sticking with me, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.